Is Keanu Reeves refusing to touch women because of #MeToo? Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, bringing you the obvious, and today, on RT.com, world news, is Keanu Reeves refusing to touch people in photos because of #MeToo? Should we as well? And Keanu Reeves doing the hover hand with actress Rebecca Kennedy. And here you can see he doesn't actually touch her, he poses for the photo. Now, Keanu Reeves has surged in popularity lately, and I love it. He's probably my favorite actor. You know, like, out of all the actors, he's the one that's actually a decent person. And to kind of explain my love for this guy to you, I want you to read about his life story. So ignoring the cancerous message here, let's read. This guy reading the newspaper on the subway is Keanu Reeves. He is from a problematic family. His father was arrested when he was 12 for drug dealing, and his mother was a stripper. His family moved to Canada, and there he had several stepdads. He watched his girlfriend die. They were about to get married, and she died in a car accident. And also before that, she had lost her baby. Since then, Keanu avoids serious relationships, having kids. He's one of the only Hollywood stars without a mansion. He said, "I live in a flat. I have everything that I need anytime. Why choose an empty house?" One of his best friends died of an overdose. He was River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix's brother. Almost in the same year, Keanu's father was arrested again. His younger sister had leukemia. Today she is cured, and he donated 10% of the gains from the movie The Matrix to hospitals that treat leukemia. And one of his birthdays, he got to a little candy shop and bought him a cake and started eating alone. If a fan walked by, he would talk to them and offer some of the cake. He doesn't have bodyguards, and he doesn't wear fancy clothes. When they asked him about sad Keanu, he replied, "You don't need to be happy to live." He's probably one of the best people in Hollywood. Probably, if we were to name the patron saint of Hollywood, it would be Keanu Reeves. And I know sometimes I say his name is Kenu, but I believe it's Keanu. So, now that we know why he's so awesome, we obviously have to go to the classic meme about the hover hand. So you're telling me I can dodge lawsuits? No, Neo. I'm telling you, when the time comes, you won't have to. Truly, Keanu Reeves was ahead of his time. We can't know for certain if Keanu Reeves is just shy or wary of potential sexual harassment accusations, but that both are equally plausible is a terrifying indictment of the state of relations between the sexes. A tweet has gone viral with a compilation of photos featuring the Hollywood actor posing together with women, in which he platforms perhaps what is colloquially known as the hover hand. This is not new news. This is old news. It's been joked about for a long, long time. Only very recently, with the surge of Keanu Reeves, he's going to be like in Cyberpunk, in that Cyberpunk game. There was John Wick, which I heard was amazing. I can't wait to see it. I missed it in theaters. And it's just his year. He's the cool guy, and everybody loves him. And it's great, because he deserves it. A phenomenon that occurs when two people embrace for a photo op, but one or both leave their fingers an imperceptible distance away from the other. Only the Matrix star exhibits an almost comically exaggerated version. Arms inches away from the waist, open palms exposed to the camera. Like Jesus Christ himself. See? No touching, his body language screams. And they have some tweet excerpts. Lo, Keanu ain't taking no chances. Is it Keanu or Kenu? Keanu. It's Keanu, not Keanu? Keanu. So it turns out it's Keanu. Keanu Reeves. Keanu. Okay, I'll call him Keanu. Poor man, nobody knows how to say his name. Oh, and I guess this is a tweet that got big, even though this has been going on for years, literally years of his hover hand. The hover hand predominantly exists as an online meme to mock men lacking the confidence to make physical contact when with an attractive woman. But here a different interpretation was in order, that this was a deliberate pose to avoid producing evidence for a possible claim down the line. You see, in clown world, the world in which we live, #clown world, everything is upside down. And because above is as to below, things have reversed. Things are flipped. Now the hover hand is no longer like cringe. It's, oh man, that's a smart move, guy. She might #MeToo you, and this is a great way to avoid any lawsuits. See, that's how far we've come in the upside down. You know, I gotta buy a honker. That's what I'm gonna buy a honk. One of those honking things. Certainly, this need not be the only explanation. Perhaps he is reticent or polite, as he has mentioned in interviews, generally squeamish or specifically uncomfortable making physical contact with strangers during what must be dozens of daily requests for a quick pic. And one of his co-posers is the famously irrelevant 73-year-old country singer Dolly Parton, hardly a hashtag #MeToo victim in waiting. But neither is implausible that, as a man living in the ever more deranged gaze of celebrity culture, abetted by social media and picture-taking smartphones, and in the midst of a moral panic that can bring down anyone. Remember when Johnny Depp was cooler? Johnny Depp is still cool, damn it. His wife was abusive. Keanu is playing it safe. So possibly this is a habit he has developed. No hands, no lawsuit. Much as there is something dolorous about celebrities being denied an ordinary existence, this story is not about Keanu. It is about us. His air of dignified melancholy mixed with a mysterious blankness has always made it easier for people to project their own feelings onto the actor. It is not an accident that the sad Keanu meme featured the oddly forlorn Reeves eating a sandwich he had endured for years. And in this case, people are channeling through a deep anxiety. What is trivial, even contrived non-story has produced, from the original tweet alone, in over 75,000 shares and 4,000 comments. The discussion was not celebrity gossip, but referenced fundamental questions. Is this normal? How does this affect my own behavior? Have the rules changed for how men and women should operate in close quarters? Yep, pretty much, unless you're Chad. You know, this whole post-feminism and liberation, all it really did was make everything worse. In the past, it was a lot easier because you were expected to court and not sleep around. Now everyone's sleeping around, no one's courting, people aren't getting married. We got a bunch of single people, men and women, out there, completely lonely. Then you have like 80% of the women sleeping with 20% of the men, chasing after a Chad, the eternal story. Many praised Keanu for his foresight, smart man. Others celebrated the new age of politeness and respect. This is actually what having manners looks like. Soy boy. Thus presumably implying that physical contact is bad manners. It's actually not. When you touch another person, you touch their skin, it releases dopamine in both people. And trust me, friends, all those feel-good chemicals. I'm actually not sure if it's dopamine itself. Let me look that up. Ooh, I was somewhat right. Okay. What chemicals released when you touch someone? Now that you're really committed to someone else, chemicals help you stay connected. Oxytocin, dopamine triggers the release of oxytocin, which is sometimes called the cuddle hormone. In both genders, oxytocin is released during touching. In women, oxytocin is released during labor and breastfeeding. Okay, so it's not dopamine per se, but dopamine is related to the process. Of course, it's the reward chemical. If you get a reward, there's bound to be a little dopamine in there. And one person wondered about the obsession we have with touching women at any given moment. Oh, get off, you white knight male feminist. You're literally the last person that any of these women are going to sleep with. Former White House advisor Sebastian Gorka popped in to blame the left. It's literally their fault. Look at the number of comments here of soy boys reckoning Keanu is being a gentleman here. No, he's trying not to get sued. It's possible to put your hands on a woman in a platonic manner without being a creep. If you don't know that/how, you're a creep. Just a thought. Perhaps Keanu recognized that not one of these women gave them their consent to touch him. And I don't know, he respected their bodily autonomy. Keanu showing everyone how to be respectful might be a potential takeaway here as well. This is just a thought, though. Yeah, I really don't agree with that. You can touch someone like we're human! Touch is nice. You know how touch deprived the average person is these days? How sad that we've gotten to this point. But regardless of your take, one thing is indisputable. What was once a simple social ritual, performed in the vast majority of cases without any ulterior motive or even much thought, has now evolved into another social minefield to be negotiated self-consciously, not just by Keanu, but by you as a man. The next time you pose with someone, you are not 100% sure of a colleague, a relative, a friend of a friend, a stranger in a bar, they probably won't sue you, but the photos will be there forever. and you can be labeled handsy or creepy, or perhaps laughed at as the opposite, an overly facetious Victorian gentleman protecting a lady's modesty. And this might be the reality for the foreseeable future, as long as there exists a climate of constant public suspicion. Not just this, but hundreds of other routine interactions that were once considered friendliness or play or flirtation. Of course, some sober examination of existing social practices is necessary. Non-consensual soldier rubs in the office were never appropriate, even when they were accepted. I want a soldier rub. Give me one, damn it. I gotta lean forward to talk into the camera. My neck and back are killing me. But perhaps there is detectable in the entire Keanu discussion a burbling undercurrent of regret among men and women who are not either abusers or victims at his loss of innocence, at the new reefs in what is already a hard-to-navigate map of intersex relations, a frustration we can't even take a photo with without all the tedious disassembling. Or maybe that's just a wishful presumption. And this is how we should all live now. Carefully, hands hovering. By Igor Ogorandenev. You know, for the amount of vodka that the average Russian drinks, they really produce a lot of smart and philosophical people. Now let's check out the comment section. The Nick says, touch them or not, women are always complaining. Dr. Guy says, to me it demonstrates fear. Society is permeated with it. Fear of offending someone. Fear of being stopped by police. Fear of someone finding something you wrote 30 years ago. Fear of committing a hate crime, which is anything the government decides it is. A hate crime, and you have no idea what it will be. It's absolutely true. Georgia replies, it is not uncertainty. It's leftist communist politics at work, brought to you from the Frankfurt School communists. The Fabian Society and their fellow travelers. Everything the left touches turns to garbage. See San Fran, etc. Mal212 says, can you blame him? Zoe Dion says, I'm totally with Reeves on this one. We, men, should start treating women like a bad disease. That's what they want and that's what they get. I disagree with treating women like a bad disease. Like, women are necessary. Literally, the men and women need to come back together. We need to repair the damage that's been done by the cultural Marxists. We need to rebuild the family unit. We need to fix the relations. And we need to make it symbiotic again. Men and women are different. Because they're different, they're complementary. Because they're complementary, they can make a symbiotic relationship that makes them stronger as a whole than they were apart. That's the same reason I can't agree with, young men going their own way. Okay, if you're old and divorced, I get it. Go your own way. But if you're a young guy and you've got your whole life ahead of you, no. You can't give up. Your evolutionary line cannot end with you. We have to repair it. But I do agree with the latter part of the statement. This is what the crazy women want. This is what the crazy girls are going to... No, it's even worse than that. The crazy women want that. But all women are going to get the consequences. Vibs Hume says, America is an asylum, and the inmates are running the show. Clown world. And I don't think I could have said it better myself. That's the story, folks. Keanu Reeves is too pure for this world. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about Keanu Reeves doing the hover hand, becoming a master at his craft? Do you think it's because he's shy? Or is he dodging all these lawsuits? Is this a new reality in the world of #MeToo? I really want opinions from both men and women. Be sure to let me know. Now, if you want to support the content that I make, you can join me on Patreon, Subscribestar, both of which will get you access to Fight Club, a private Discord server, or you can donate via PayPal. There's also a monthly option. Most of all, honestly, doesn't even take any shekels. Share the video. That helps out a lot. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.